Hello, Aditya. Maybe you joined in the wrong class, Aditya. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Okay. Today also very less number. Okay, let's see. Today we will discuss about electromagnetic spectrum. It is the last topic in electromagnetic waves. Okay, we have learnt about the displacement current, and we learnt about properties of electromagnetic wave and what is electromagnetic wave. We have discussed. Now,
So
electromagnetic
this chapter
spectrum.
is for how much marks? How many marks, sir? This chapter?
I think it is 2 marks from this lesson. But competitive, it is very important. Now, whatever I'm going to teach today, that is very, very important for competitive level examination. You can get and easily you can answer also. Okay, let's see that. And it is very small chapter actually. Electromagnetic spectrum. You know what is spectrum? I think in the chemistry also it is going right. What is spectrum? The whole range of frequencies or wavelengths of electromagnetic waves of electro electromagnetic waves arranged in a order. The whole range of frequencies, wavelengths of electromagnetic waves arranged order in an order is known as is known as electromagnetic spectrum. Electromagnetic spectrum. So the whole range of frequencies or wavelengths of electromagnetic waves, frequencies or wavelengths, we can say, or wavelengths arranged in a order. So they have arranged in a order. So that order is nothing but electromagnetic spectrum. Spectrum is nothing but orderly arrangement of electromagnetic waves. So that is nothing but spectrum. So electromagnetic spectrum is the whole range of frequencies of wavelengths of electromagnetic waves. That is called electromagnetic spectrum. So how to remember this electromagnetic spectrum? Remember this. How to arrange that spectrum in order? First, you should know the definition. The whole range of frequencies or wavelengths, whatever it may be, of electromagnetic waves arranged in a order is known as electromagnetic spectrum. How to remember that? Radio Mirchi, I love you, X-ray, gun. So here R is nothing but radio waves. Radio waves. M is nothing but microwaves. I is nothing but infrared. L is nothing but light. Light is nothing but visible light. U is nothing but ultrasonic, ultraviolet. X is nothing but X-ray. X-rays. G is nothing but gamma rays. Write that.
Sir, what is with that eye, sir?
I is nothing but infrared. It is infrared. Infrared. L means visible light. So light, it is nothing but light. Light, visible light. Ultraviolet. X is X-ray. G is gamma rays. Understand that one? Understand clearly? Hello? Nikita?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
What is electromagnetic spectrum?
It's the whole range of frequencies or wavelengths of electromagnetic waves arranged in an order.
Right? Understand the definition clearly?
Yes, sir.
Now, where is the frequencies and where is the wavelengths? That means these are the waves, right? These are which waves? Electromagnetic waves. Electromagnetic waves, how to remember? What is the shortcut to remember that?
Radio Mirchi, I love you, X-ray
X-ray?
gun.
X-ray gun. If you remember like that, all radio waves will come, electromagnetic waves will come. So if you go along in this direction from radio waves to gamma rays, wavelength decreases. Wavelength decreases. So first its wavelength will be like this. After it will be like this. Wavelength decreases. It will come very near. When wavelength is decreasing, frequency
Increase.
frequency increases. You can remember very easily because they will. And what is the use of the radio waves? Can you say? Anybody, what is the use of the radio waves?
Is it for communication?
Yeah, communication, broadcasting, right? Microwaves. Anybody can say? What is the use of the microwaves? Kausalya.
Aircraft navigation.
Microwaves is nothing but, you know, right? Micro oven. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Micro oven. Infrared rays. Hello. Hello. Kaushalya. Banu Prasad.
Yes.
What are the use of infrared dress? Anything? Any use?
Remote control, sir.
Okay. Light, we know, right? Light is a visible thing, that is, we can see all the things because of the light only. Ultraviolet rays. Ultraviolet. X-rays we know, gamma rays we know, X-ray, Xerox we know, right? Hello. Did you understand, everyone, what is the electromagnetic spectrum and how to remember that? Or any doubt? So which one has more frequency?
Gamma rays.
Yeah, gamma rays has more frequency, so less wavelength. Okay, write that, copy that. And what are the ranges of that wavelength? I am going to write wavelength ranges. Remember like that. Spectrum is nothing but orderly arrangement of rays, is nothing but spectrum. Electromagnetic spectrum is the orderly arrangement of frequencies or wavelengths of electromagnetic waves, is nothing but electromagnetic spectrum. Remember like that. So how to remember that, how to arrange in the order means, just remember this word. Whenever you want, you can remember. Radio Mirchi, I love you. X-ray gun, X-ray gun. That's what. Remember like that. Whenever you want, which ray is having more frequency than which ray, then you can find out very easily. Just one line, everything you can remember. Now see, what are that wavelengths? And mostly they will ask question from this. This chapter is from this chapter there are 2 marks. Mostly they will ask, they can ask from this topic especially. Otherwise, intensity formula you should know. Intensity formula. Intensity is nothing but force by area. We learned. Check once. Power by area, right?
So what did you tell? So I got disconnected because of power cut.
Yeah, this lesson there are 2 marks, right? This 2 marks will come from this lesson, right? So what I'm saying, mostly whatever I'm explaining now, electromagnetic spectrum, from that they can ask. Otherwise, intensity formula, we know, right? Power by area. Properties, that properties you have to revise once. Okay, now see wavelengths. Radio wave, radio wave, microwave. Next, infrared, infrared waves. Next, light, right? Visible light or light waves. Radio Mirchi and ultraviolet rays.
UV rays, sir.
Yes, UV rays. Next,
X-rays and gamma rays.
X-ray. Next,
Gamma rays.
gamma ray. Gamma ray. So actually visible light 700 nanometers to 400 nanometer. It is the range of wavelength. So we have to write wavelength. Wavelength range. Wavelength range is for light. Once if you take this light, it will become very easy. 700 nanometers to 400 nanometers. It will become 1 millimeter to 700 nanometers. Just 700 and 1 millimeter we have to place. And this again 1 millimeter will come here. So So we can write that 0.01 0.01 meter, and it will become more than 0.1 meter. So it is nothing but 0.1. Here downward 700 700 to 1 millimeter, again 1 millimeter, so 0.1, again 0.1. So here 400, so 400 nanometers to 1 nanometer. It will become 1 nanometer to 10 to the power of minus 3 nanometers. We can say, we can write like that. Again 10 to the power of minus 3, if it is this rays will become 10 to the power of minus 3 nanometer. These rays are wavelength is now when we are going from radio waves to in gamma rays, wavelength increase or decrease?
Decreases, sir.
So decrease, wavelength decrease. So when wavelength is decreasing from here to here, frequency increases. Remember like that.
So how, sir? So it will be opposite, no, sir? For frequency increase.
Frequency increases, right? Oh,
It will be ulta, sir.
it will, right?
Yes, sir.
Frequency increases, wavelength decreases. Remember this light, 700 nanometer to 400, 700 right here from 1, again 1 right here, 0.1, 0.1 you can remember. Here 400 nanometers to 1 nanometer, again 1 right here.
Sir, why can't it be 400 nanometer to 700 nanometer, sir?
400 nano, why can't it be? 700 is big or 400 is big? Nano, right? Nano, which is more? 400 nanometer is more or 700 nanometer is more?
No, sir. She's asking why can't it be between any other frequencies?
Yeah, frequency orders they have given, no? Basing on that order.
No, sir. I'm asking that why it can't be in the order of 400 nanometer to 700 nanometer.
That's what I'm telling. Now, which is more? It is more or it is more? 700 nanometer is more or 400 nanometer is more? Tell me clearly. Which is more?
700, sir.
700 is more.
No, sir.
Nano means we know, right? 700 nano. So wavelength is decreasing from here to here is decreasing. Okay. Visible light range is only 700 nanometer to, that is the range of that light, visible light. That is the range they have given. Okay, ranges they arranged, so we have to follow that order. Seven to 4, 4 to 1, 1 to the power minus 10, 10 to the power minus 10. Yeah. Okay. Okay. How many? How can you? What is the electromagnetic spectrum?
whole range of frequency or wavelength of electromagnetic waves arranged in an order is known as electromagnetic.
So now can you write how to arrange that in the order?
Yes, sir.
What we only just one line we have to remember, okay? Just that line you have to remember, you can write, okay?
Yes, sir.
So this is what electromagnetic waves lesson. This is the actually last lesson in your first part. From this lesson mostly 2 marks will come, and mostly they can ask from this.
So frequency range, sir.
Frequency range no need, just wavelength range is enough. Frequency, what is the relation between frequency and enough? Frequency range is no need. Wavelength is enough. Which is increasing, which is decreasing, they will ask, that's all. They won't ask more than that. Okay. Okay, with this topic mostly we have completed 7th lesson also. Actually in the magnetism so many parts they have removed, like what are the uses of differences between paramagnetic, ferromagnetic, diamagnetic materials. Most of the parts they have removed, so that's why I didn't teach that. Once again I will teach that lesson. Just now we have completed now first part we are going to complete, so even I will give a small idea about that lesson. Mostly you know that. If you don't know, we will discuss. Let's see.
So for PU part?
PU part actually syllabus also not completed till now, so it is better to learn everything. That's why I'm teaching again. First there is no top, they didn't remove some of the topics, only definitions and everything we have to read. Remaining all topics they have removed. Important topics they have removed from this lesson. That important topic, 5 mark question is differences between para, ferro, dia. Most of the topic they have removed. That's why I didn't teach. But now there is no confirmation. Again, maybe we have to read everything. So it is better to learn. Even some of the part I didn't explain. Cyclotron or something, right?
Yes, sir. Cyclotron you didn't teach.
So I have to teach even that, because maybe we have to read everything now. I will teach that.
So even that questions on potentiometer.
Questions on potentiometer we didn't discuss, huh?
No, sir.
Questions, just a minute. Tell me questions on potentiometer. Potentiometer, cyclotron. Next, that's all I think. Remaining everything we have discussed. I didn't leave any topic. Any other topic that we left? Magnetism. So magnetism, first we should know about magnetic field. Do you have idea about what is magnetic field? Hello. Magnetic field. So suppose if we take electron or any charge, the space around the charge is called electric field. The space around the magnet is called magnetic field. Here if you bring one more magnet or other magnetic materials, that experiences this force. That is what magnetic field. Nikita, did you understand what is magnetic field? Magnetic field is an imaginary space surrounded by the magnet. If you bring one more magnet or any other magnetic material into that field, that experiences force. Okay, that is what magnetic field. Properties. Properties of So many types of magnets are actually artificial magnets and natural magnets. Artificial magnets are lesser power than, natural magnets are lesser power than artificial magnets, because in the artificial magnets, how much ever power we require, that much power we can give that. We can prepare like that. But natural magnets are lesser power. And natural magnets. So magnets are two types. One is artificial. Second one is natural. So artificial magnets are very less power than, artificial magnets are more powerful than natural magnets, and artificial magnets have a specific shape, but natural magnets, there is no specific shape. So we will use mostly artificial magnets because there is a specific shape and it having more power than natural magnets. And properties of and types also. In the artificial magnet, there are types: ring magnet, disc magnet, and bar magnet. Like there's so many, cylindrical magnet.
The
Like
horseshoe magnet.
yes, horseshoe magnet. So many types of magnets are there. Natural magnet, there is no shape, shapeless. Okay, so let's see now properties of bar magnet. If you take a bar magnet, what are the properties are there? Properties of a bar magnet. First property, there are two poles, means magnet always having two poles. Single pole magnets cannot exist. Okay, hello. Magnet having two poles, single pole magnets cannot exist. Second one, like poles repel each other, unlike poles attract each other. So attractive, or we can say attractive property, magnets attracts magnetic materials. Next one, third one is directive property, means magnet shows directions. Third one is, first one, pair property, right? Pair property. Pair property means magnet having always two poles. Single pole magnet, it is not possible. Suppose if you take a bar magnet, it having north and south. If you cut this bar magnet into small piece, even though in the small piece north and south will exist. So it having pair property. Next one is attractive. Attractive property. Attractive property means magnets attracts magnetic materials or other magnets. It can attract. So attractive property. Next one, directive property. That means it will show the direction. Magnets can show the direction. So that is the reason it having directive property. Fourth one.
Sir, can you repeat directive property, sir?
Magnet shows direction. Right? It having, right? Magnet shows direction, north and south. So that is the reason it having directive property. Two like poles, what will happen? Like poles repel each other, unlike poles attract each other. Right? Inductive property. That means inductive property is nothing. Let's see. We know induction, induced current. We know induced current. Due to one more current will develop. That is induced current. Here inductive property means, suppose it is the magnet. Now what I will take one of the magnetic material. So iron nail or something I will take. Once if I take this iron nail, now when it is near to the magnet, this iron nail also acts as a, this magnetic material also will act as a magnet. How much time this magnet will stay near this, that much time it will act as a magnet. So the magnetic property induced in the magnetic material, so that property is called inductive property or induction property.
Sir, what is directive property?
Directive property means magnet shows directions. Magnet shows direction, so it having directive property, we can say like that. And basing on the directive property, they have Chinese, they discovered right, magnetic compass. It shows the direction. Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All magnetic materials can behave as a magnet. It is possible, but sometime, after some time gap, again it will come back to the original state. Let's see now. Is the magnet North Pole and South Pole. See, poles does not exist. Poles does not exist at the ends. Poles exist inside the magnet. These are poles. These are ends. Generally, when we are seeing magnet, what is the pole? We will say that it is the pole. It is the South Pole. It is the North Pole. Poles exist here, in little bit inside the ends of the magnet. Understand? So from this end to this end, whatever the length is there, that length is called geometric length. Geometric length. Geometrical length. So geometric length means one end to another end. The length between poles. It is the pole. It is the pole. Poles exist little bit inside the magnet. So this length is called magnetic length. Magnetic length. Geometric length and magnetic length. And pole strength, we will take small m. Pole strength. So small
What's
m.
magnetic length again?
Magnetic length is nothing but the length between the two poles. The
And
length
geometric length is length between
ends.
two ends.
Two ends.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
Okay.
it should be very important. Okay, let's see now. It is the pole strength. If you take a pole, how much strength is having, that pole strength we will denote with letter M. Here also M, here. How much strength will be here? Same strength will be here. So pole strength, it is called pole strength.
Sir, can you repeat again, sir? Did
Which
not
one?
hear. Connection.
Induction. Is it induction property?
No, sir, after inductive property.
After inductive property, we are discussing about magnet, right? If you take a magnet having north and south, here what will happen? The length between the two ends is called geometric length, and the length between the two poles is nothing but magnetic length. So magnetic length is always lesser than the geometric length.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Magnetic length always less than the geometric length. Okay. Now The line joining, so pole strength we can say small m, small pole strength, it is also pole strength, we can say like that. So the line joining between north pole to south pole, it is called magnetic axis. Magnetic axis. The line joining north and south poles, when the magnet is suspended very freely, okay. And if the line which is passing vertically, the line passing vertically, the line passing through vertically, magnetic axis, through magnetic axis, it is the magnetic axis, one of the line is passing vertically through magnetic axis, is called magnetic meridian. Magnetic meridian, the line which is passing vertically through magnetic axis, is called magnetic meridian. So these are the things you should remember in the magnet. So when they are asking about magnetic length, we have to take magnetic length from north pole to south pole. If they ask geometric length, the geometric length is from one end to another end. Okay. Clear? Hello. Banu Prasad?
Yes, sir.
Understand, ma?
Yes, sir.
This is a small information about the magnet. When you take a bar magnet, this type of things will be there. And if I take Herschel magnet, can you say which magnet having more power? Can you say which magnet having more power? Hello.
Horseshoe magnet, sir.
Horseshoe magnet having more power. Why? Because north and south are very near to each other. So magnetic lines, we know, right, how it will pass. North to south it will pass, and these two poles are very near to each other. They're having more power than bar magnet. We know where we have to use, even in electric motors and all, we will use the Herschel magnet. Remember, this is the small information about magnet. Magnetic meridian, magnetic axis, what is magnetic axis, and what is magnetic length, what is geometric length, everything. Now, strength of the bar magnet. Strength of the bar magnet. So how can we, what is the strength of the bar magnet? How to calculate? The strength of the bar magnet is characterized by the magnetic dipole moment. We know, right? Dipole moment. Basing on the magnetic dipole moment, we can say what is the strength of the bar magnets. So dipole moment is denoted with letter mu or capital M. Magnetic dipole moment characterized The strength of the bar magnet is characterized by the magnetic dipole moment. So basing on the magnetic dipole moment, we can say the strength of the bar magnet. So magnetic dipole moment, magnetic dipole moment, mu or capital M, denote letter. So magnetic dipole moment is equal to either any pole strength or south pole strength or north pole strength, whatever it may be. Because even in electrostatics also, minus q we have taken, plus q we have taken. So length between these two will be 2l we have taken. So say the dipole moment, when we are discussing about the topic, dipole moment P equal to either charge into distance between them. That's what we did. The product of either charge and vector displacement between them. That's what we have given. Here also, if we take a bar magnet, here north pole and south pole, and each and every pole consists magnetic strength, and between these two there is a length, that is we have take 2l. So magnetic dipole moment is the product of either magnetic strength and vector displacement between them. It is the pole strength, any pole, either south pole or north pole, and distance between them. That is called magnetic dipole moment. Clear?
Can you repeat, sir?
Yeah. So magnetic dipole moment is denoted with letter mu or capital M. So magnetic dipole moment is equal to product of pole strength, either north pole strength or south pole strength. M is the pole strength. The product of pole strength and vector displacement between them. So however, we discuss like electric dipole moment, same like that. But here, what is the difference? Here, single charge can exist, but single pole cannot exist. That is only difference. Remaining things are same. In the charge, magnitude of charge place, here I given magnitude of pole strength. Remaining thing is same. Clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now see. So mu or M we can give. That is the magnetic dipole moment. Because even magnet having two poles, but single poles does not exist. Now see, we know one of the property. Two north poles means two like poles repel each other, two unlike poles attract each other. How can we say like that? What is the reason? That reason behind that already I think we have discussed. Two like poles repel, two unlike poles attract. That is due to magnetic field lines. Do you have idea about magnetic field lines? Anybody? Do you have idea about magnetic field lines?
So they are imaginary lines, sir.
These are actually imaginary. Magnetic field lines are, first point is magnetic field lines are imaginary lines. What is the second point? Tell me, ma.
Externally, they start from North Pole and end at the South Pole, but internally, they start from the South Pole and end at the North Pole.
Is it possible to break that?
No, sir, it's not possible to break.
So these lines of force makes
Closed
loop.
continuous loops,
Yeah,
sir.
closed continuous loops. Externally north to south, internally south to north. Third point, can you say?
So two lines cannot meet each other.
Why?
Or else it will have two directions of force.
Wherever the two lines will meet, at a point of interaction, magnetic field having two directions, that is not possible. Magnetic field having only one direction, either this or this. So magnetic field having two directions here, it is not possible. So two lines of force cannot meet with each other. So many lines of force will be there, but each and every line cannot attracted by the other line. Each and every line is individual. Okay, because it is imaginary concept. We can feel so many lines will be there. How it is possible without touching? But it is possible because it is an imaginary concept. Okay, let's see. Problem on magnetic dipole moment. A bar magnet of magnetic moment of magnetic moment 5.0 a m square has poles 20 centimeters apart, has poles 20 centimeter apart, calculates pole strength, calculate the pole strength, calculate the pole strength. Solution given. Magnetic moment capital M 5.0, and they have given length 20 centimeters. That length is 2L. So what will happen? 20 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meters it is. So we know these two. They are asking pole strength. Pole strength small m equal to capital M by 2L. Capital M we know 5. It will become 20 into 10 to the power of minus 2. 500 by 20. 24. Write that. Next one. Write that question. Two identical thin bar magnets, each of length L. So two bar magnets they have given, each having length they have L they have given, and pole strength M are placed at right angle to each other, with the north pole of one touching the south pole of other they have given. So according to that data, this is what they have given. Take it is N1, S1, N2, S2, 90 degrees, right angle. Now what will happen? When the magnets N1 and S1 and N2, S2 are placed right angle to each other, and each and every pole having pole strength equal to M they have given. So when they place like that, so total system behaves as a magnet. Total system behaves as a magnet whose pole strength is M and whose pole strength equal to M. This total system acts like a magnet. Yes, north, south, north, south. So total system acts like as a magnet. So its pole strength equal to each and every pole strength is M, and length is equal to this length, and the length equal to, what is the length? Which length it will be now? Each and every pole having pole strength is M, because total system is acting as a magnet. So now what is the length of the system? Can we say it is the length? It is the length of the whole system, right? Hello. Hello. Banu Prasad. Banu Prasad. Likita.
So,
Likita, did you understand? Now it is one of the magnet, right?
yes, sir.
This combination is one of the magnets. Why? Because north, south, so total is one of the magnet. Now its length, it is the length, right?
Yes, sir.
And each and every pole having same pole strength. No, they have given itself, right?
Yes, sir.
So what is the length? How much it is?
L root 2.
So root 2 L, right? Now tell me magnetic dipole moment how much? Capital M equal to pole strength is small m and the length is root 2 into L, right? That L is capital L. Root 2 ml. Can we write like this? Write that. Understand clearly? Sanchit,
Yes, sir.
do you have any doubt, ma?
No, sir.
Clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's see now. Coulomb's law of magnetism. Coulomb's law of magnetism. We know Coulomb's law of electrostatics. Same like that only. So Coulomb's law of magnetism. The force of attraction between the two poles, attraction or repulsion, whatever it may be, right? The force of attraction or repulsion between the two poles is directly proportional to product of magnitude of their pole strength and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. That distance you have to take r square something. It is equation 1. Equation 2. Understand the statement? The force of attraction or repulsion, because if the two poles are similar, there is a repulsion. If the two poles are opposite, so there is a attraction. The force of attraction or repulsion between the two poles is directly proportional to product of magnitude of their pole strength. Here m1 and m2 is not masses, pole strengths. So product of their masses, product of their pole strength and square of the distance between them. Right? So from equation 1 and 2, we can write F is directly proportional to m1 m2 by r square, or F is equal to K m1 m2 by r square. There in electrostatics, K value you have taken K equal to 1. No, you have taken one more value, right? Here K equal to 4 pi mu naught by 4 pi we have to take. So that value is 10 to the power of minus 7 Weber per meters ampere meter. In electrostatic, K value how much? Hello? Here mu naught by 4 pi, right? In electrostatic, how much K value? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught?
9 into 10 to the power 9.
Yeah, there K value is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. This value is 9 into 10 to the power of 9. But here this value is not 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, mu naught by 4 pi, 10 to the power of minus 7 Weber ampere meter. Write this. That is the Coulomb's law of magnetism. Okay? Hello? Clear? Now see. See, electric dipole moment is scalar or vector? Electric dipole moment is a scalar or vector?
Sure, vector.
Magnetic dipole moment? Magnetic dipole moment?
Vector only.
It is also vector. What is the direction of electric dipole moment? What is the direction of electric dipole moment?
Negative to positive, sir.
So here, what is the magnetic dipole moment direction?
South to north.
Yes, south to north. So whatever the negative charge is playing role in the electrostatics, in the magnetism, south pole will play the same role. Problem. Coulomb's law. So write the problem. Two equal magnetic poles placed 5 centimeters in air attract each other with a force of 14.4 into 10 to the power of minus 4 Newton. How far from each other should they be placed so that the force of attraction will be 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 4 Newton. See that question. Did you understand the question? Two equal magnetic poles placed 5 centimeters in air attracted with each other with force. This much of force is acting when they place the two magnetic poles. How far from each other should they place so that force of attraction become this much? That's what the question. Question is, it is very clear. Let's see solution. Given they have given what force f1 equal to 14.4 10 to the power of minus 14 Newton. It is one more force they have given, that's why I written as the f1, and f2 equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 4 Newton. This f1 force is acting when they placed a distance equal to 5 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meters distance. When they placed, so this much of force is acting. Once if they give like that, we know f1 is equal to k m1 equal poles, equal magnetic pole strength. So m1 equal to m2, so by r square. So we know that k equal to, k value how much? 10 to the power of minus 7, right? M square, they didn't give, pole strength they didn't give, by distance they have given 5 into 10 to the power of minus 2 whole square equal to, for f1 they have given 14.4 into 10 to the power of minus 4 Newton. They have given this force. So we have to find out full strength here. Find out that full strength, how much it is. Calculate that. So m square m square equal to 14.4 into 10 to the power of minus 4 into 5 into 10 to the power of minus 2 whole square by 10 to the power of minus 7. Can you calculate how much it is?
Sir, is the answer 15 centimeters, sir?
No, pole strength, it won't come in the 15 centimeter. Answer, huh?
Yes, sir.
15 centimeters, huh? Okay. 15 centimeters and convert into meters.
0.15 meter.
Correct. How much magnetic pole strength here? How much did you get?
6, sir.
How much was 6, huh?
6, sir.
Yeah. Once if we get this, we know what we have to do. Now second formula we have to use. The second formula is F2 equal to K m square by r square. So we know r square is equal to K m square by F2. F2 we know, this is the F2, and m we know, this is the m. K value we know, K value. Then we have to find out r. That r you will get 15 centimeters. It is equal to 0.15 meters. That is r dash. It is r, so it is r dash. That's all. Okay. So like that, if they ask you the type of sums, if you know the force formula, you have to substitute and get the answer. See once here, if you take a bar magnet, north pole and south pole, now it is called axis. So due to this bar magnet, there will be a magnetic field. Around this, there will be a space occupied by the imaginary force. So any magnet, if or magnetic material, if you bring into that field, definitely force will act on it. So around this bar magnet, that space will be there. Now it is the axis. Here, how much magnetic field will be there? How to calculate that? On the axis, if you take here, here, same thing that we have discussed in the electrostatics, minus q plus q, it is the magnetic electric dipole. On the axis, how much of electric field is there? On the perpendicular line, how much electric field is there? That we have calculated. Similarly, if it is pole strength is m, here pole strength is m, and it is the point P we have taken. So how much magnetic field will be here? So whatever we have calculated, how we have calculated here, like that only we will calculate. So magnetic field on the axis of magnet. Here how much magnetic field will be there? That's what. So this mostly try to solve. So due to this pole, here magnetic field will be there. That is in this direction. Due to this, maybe take in this direction. So if it is the B1, take it is the B2, or it is the B1, take it is B2. We can take. If it is the north pole, if you bring one more north pole magnetic material, So north will repel. So it will be in this direction. Due to south, it will attract. So we can take like that. Did you remember the concept? Hello? Did you remember that concept? So length from here to center is L. From here to here is L. So from the center to here, we have to take as a R distance or something. So this point is located R. So now what is the magnetic field formula? Hello? What is the magnetic field formula? Hello? Magnetic field is nothing but force. How much force is acting? If you take due to N1, hello? Due to N1 is B1. B1, how much can you write? How much B1? Banu Prasad.
Sir, we are calculating force or magnetic field strength, sir.
Take force. Magnetic field we can say. Calculate magnetic field. Magnetic field how we have to calculate? Mu naught by 4 pi, right? Hello? It's nothing but force. So we can say it is a force, magnetic force. That's what magnetic field. F1 by R square. R square means here how much? R minus L whole square, right? Hello?
Sir, is magnetic field and
Force.
magnetic force both same, sir?
Yeah, here. So take magnetic force
But
only.
in electrostats, we had electric field is
Is
F
different.
by Q.
Yes. F by Q. F by Q we applied, huh? No, we didn't apply F by Q. F we have applied. We have applied F. F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square place we have written something. See that. R place one time R minus L we have taken there also same like that only X minus L. One more time we have X minus L whole square. One more time we have taken F2 is equal to 1 by like K Q2 by X plus L whole square we have taken. Similarly we have to take here F2 equal to mu naught by 4 pi M by X plus R plus L whole square. So we know here B1 minus B2, right? Did you remember now? We have taken.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, even same like that we have calculated. So here also substitute that and how much you are getting. Let's see.
In that we got electric dipole moment, sir.
Right here, magnetic dipole moment you will get.
Yes, sir.
So here B1 minus B2. B1 is mu naught by 4 pi M by R minus L whole square minus mu naught by 4 pi M by charge place we have taken pole strength. That's all. We didn't take any. It is not new. It is very easy for you. Actually, I should not solve this. Then if you do that, mu naught by 4 pi common. M mu naught by 4 pi M also common. 1 by R minus L whole square plus 1 by R plus L whole square. Calculate this. This is nothing but B net. B net. Calculate this. How much you are getting? C. So B net equal to mu naught by m by 4 pi. How much here will you get? What is the LCM? There also same thing we have taken, right? This is the LCM. Here what will you get? R plus L whole square minus R minus L whole square, right? Calculate this. B net equal to mu naught m by 4 pi. Just a plus b whole square, r square plus L square plus 2RL minus
Sir, it is plus, sir, in between.
this one.
Yes, sir.
Why plus, ma? One force is acting in this direction, one force is acting in this direction. So net force will be B1 minus B2 only, no?
But in opposite direction, sir. So
Opposite direction. That is the reason negative. We have to give negative here. If
so
both
one
are-
will be F1 and another will be minus F1. So minus into minus plus will get, no, sir.
Here there is no negative charge, no? Why we see there Q we have taken minus Q we have taken. That's why one F is equal to KQ1 by R square something. F2 equal to minus KQ. This minus came because of the Q. But here force strength there is no negative. Both force strengths are positive only. Magnitude only we have to take. Remember that. There Q minus Q, Q. Here M only. We didn't take minus and M or plus M. Remember that.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So you will finally will remain with the B net equal to mu naught by M by 4 pi R square L square will get cancelled. 4 R L by R square minus L square whole square, right? You got the same thing. Minus R square minus L square plus 2R minus R square plus R square minus L square plus L square plus 2RL plus 2RL 4RL, remaining term is same. And again, how to write this? Mu naught 4 pi. This one I will write 2L into 2R by R square plus L square. So R square minus L square whole square. So into M. So 2L into M. What can you write? This one write 2 into 2. 4 you have to write 2 into 2. Then 2L into M. In that place you can write mu naught by 4 pi 2. In this place capital M R by R square minus L square whole square. This is what you will get. Okay. That's what you will get. Is it clear? Sanchit?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear, ma? Or any doubt?
Yes, sir. No doubt.
Same like how we have calculated that place Q place put M. That's all. Remaining things are same.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And you have to calculate magnetic field on the axis of the perpendicular axis of the dipole. Okay, that you have to calculate your own. I will say what is the difference between para, ferro, diamagnetic materials next class. Okay, see you in the next class, ma.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.